idea. Started to school. Most of the people in the suburbs thought nothing was good unless you went into the city for dance. From the very beginning, we always tried to keep it on the very highest level of training and choreography so that everyone was exposed only to the best. And I think that's followed through the years. It's always raising for the higher mark so that the students are constantly wanting to improve themselves. And now, I can't believe where it is.
Salt Creek Ballet started its Nutcracker tradition in 1986 when the company was just a year old. The first performances were of the Snow Scene and Act 2 only, and they were performed at the Hinsdale Central Auditorium with a live orchestra, which also became a Salt Creek tradition.
I was a founding member of the Salt Creek Ballet, and then I was able to return several years later as a professional guest artist in the Nutcracker, and now I am the proud mom of a Salt Creek company member.
From the very beginning, the company always rose to the high bar that Patty always set. She also instilled in her students an appreciation for all of the design elements that have to come together to make a production successful, especially the music. In addition to training strong technical dancers, Patty taught her students to be nuanced performers with a strong sense of musicality.
I've been teaching at Salt Creek, still am, since 1978, when it was the Patricia Sigurdsson School of Ballet. Through the years, I've served in many roles, few official titles. Like everyone involved, we just did whatever was needed. In 1985, Salt Creek Ballet became a reality, and I became assistant artistic director until 1997. The high production value of Salt Creek's early Nutcracker wouldn't have been possible without the support of Indianapolis Ballet Theater, who generously provided sets, costumes, and guest professional dancers. Their assistant artistic director, Dasi Dendonis, with Michael Stevenson, staged and choreographed those early productions, and former artistic director George Verdak played Drosselmeyer. Patty also worked closely with the talented artistic staff at Salt Creek. She co-directed those early productions with Salt Creek teacher and collaborator Kay Johnson, who also designed, created, and maintained costumes for Salt Creek's Nutcracker and other productions for many years. Susan O'Connell also played many roles. In addition to being a longtime teacher and resident choreographer for Salt Creek, she danced as guest artist and served as rehearsal assistant for many years in our Nutcracker.
I danced with Salt Creek Ballet from 1986 until 1992, and later rejoined the company, first as development director and later as executive director from 2008 until 2016. I currently have a wonderful, beautiful daughter in the Salt Creek Ballet Company. The early productions of Salt Creek's Nutcracker were a huge success. Chicago critics lauded the performance as being on par with professional productions of the Nutcracker in Chicago and the Midwest. More importantly, it had a huge impact on the young company of dancers and firmly established the Salt Creek Nutcracker as a tradition that would last for decades to come.
My name is Shawn Black. I danced with American Ballet Theater. I was with ABT during the Baryshnikov years. When I wasn't working with American Ballet Theater, I looked for opportunities to dance with American companies. One of my favorite places was Salt Creek Ballet. I loved performing Nutcracker with those talented dancers. While I was there, I danced with Wes Chapman, John Gardner, and Ethan Brown, all of whom were soloists and principals with American Ballet Theater. Salt Creek is about quality ballet. But it's not only the dancers. I remember the audiences. I remember them as educated in the arts and proud of their company. It's a great experience to dance for audiences who appreciate the artists. This is so important because ballet isn't just about the dancers. It's about that chemistry between the dancers and the audience.
When Patty was looking for someone to carry her torch forward, she and the board of directors were very thoughtful about selecting artistic leadership that would take her vision to the next level.
Nutcracker will be forever. It's celebration. It is Christmas time. I'm Shana Dubrovska, artistic director of Salt Creek Ballet School. Every season we celebrate Nutcracker. It's about 70 different roles in this performance.
Sometimes we are finishing period of Nutcracker, performances of Nutcracker, and it's already kids start missing right now, right after last show. Everybody wants it again and again.
The next chapter of the story involves Sergei and Jana's vision to bring a new Nutcracker to a new generation of dancers and audiences. This vision included beautiful new sets and costumes and entirely new scenes that would more fully tell Clara's story.
The board, parents, and SCB administration worked tirelessly to bring this vision of a new production to reality in 2014. The live orchestra, under the baton of Maestro Stephen Squires, was revived, having been canceled in the midst of the Great Recession.
I started working at Salt Creek Ballet this year, and one of the first things I noticed as I was researching the organization is how beautiful the production of Nutcracker is. I was thrilled, and the dancers were thrilled to carry on the tradition this year. Despite COVID and despite some differences, we did Act 2 this year only, and we did it for film. The dancers are wearing masks throughout the filming. We had to redo some choreography to allow for spacing. We did keep the tradition of guest artists, and we had Alex Roy, who is a dancer with Colorado Ballet, as Nutcracker Prince. We had Joanna Wozniak, who is a dancer at Joffrey Ballet, as the Sugar Plum Fairy. And we also had a Salt Creek Ballet alum who is in the second company at Colorado Ballet, Stephanie Montesantos.
I wish there was time to name all the other artists, staff, volunteers, and board members who contributed so much and have been part of the Salt Creek family across the generations. 2 of our current board members were there from the very beginning.
Over the past 33 years, more than 2,700 dancers have appeared in Salt Creek's Nutcracker, and hundreds of thousands of audience members have enjoyed the production. Over 1,000 individuals have worked behind the scenes making it all possible. Technical and stage staff, backstage volunteers, photographers, stitchers and costumers, Sugar Plum Party setup crew, individual, corporate, and foundation supporters, parents, and alumni. Many of today's dancers are children of that first generation, and with Salt Creek's continuing dedication to excellence, the company looks forward to sharing this holiday tradition with generations to come.